You're listening to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon, presented by 92.9 Tom FM, an iHeart radio station.
Hello and welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon. I am Kyle McMahon, and this is episode 33. Ding, 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 ding. If I had a bell, I'd be dinging it right now. So this is an all-interview episode. I gotta say, you guys make the show grow bigger and bigger and bigger every single episode. The latest episode was featured on Air with Ryan Seacrest. I about died. You guys are so awesome. You have given the show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars from all of your reviews. So that is exceptional. We've made the Apple Podcast Top 100 numerous times now. You guys just make this show grow every week. You share it with people. You keep in touch with me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. You talk about the show. I just love you guys for doing that. So thank you. Okay, so for episode 33, I have 2 interviews for you. It's an all-interview special. Next week, by the way, we go back to the classic format. Chris Cooper's going to come in. We're going to do an all-Christmas episode. And I talked to Randy Rainbow about his brand new Christmas album, Hey Girl, It's Christmas, which just hit number 1 on the Billboard chart. So awesome. Excited to talk to him. But this week, I'm talking to Steve Schirripa, who, of course, was Bobby from The Sopranos, and he plays Detective Anthony Abitamarco on Blue Bloods. Awesome guy. So I talked to him. I also talked to Marques Brownlee, who you may know from his YouTube channel, Dope Tech. 1.6 billion, with the B, 1.6 billion views. He's got a new show on YouTube Originals called Dope Tech, where he basically dives in to classic technology that has changed our lives. So from the original Mac computer, Sega Genesis, like all kinds of really cool dope tech, but with a retro twist. So let's start it off with Mr. Steve Schirripa. Here we go. So, Steve Schirripa, thank you so much for talking with me. I really appreciate it. How you doing today?
Good, man. How's everything?
Everything's going well. I appreciate that. So, first of all, let's start with your career. I would say your most iconic role, and it truly is an iconic role, was, of course, as Bobby on The Sopranos. What was that like for you to, that goes down as one of the best roles on television?
Well, listen, I was kind of green. I hadn't acted all that much. I was working, but I wasn't a full-time actor. It's kind of a hobby up until that point. I was an executive in Las Vegas, and I was dabbling in the acting in L.A. and stuff, and I came to New York for a wedding, and I auditioned, and I got the show. So that was kind of a lot of luck involved and a lot of being at the right time, the right place. And then as the years went on, my role got bigger and bigger. So, at the beginning, the show wasn't all that popular. When I first got on, I came on in the second season, 1999. And then it just exploded, and here we are, 20 years later. The show's been off the air for 12 years, 12 and a half years. People still talk about it every single day. More people now probably watch it than watched it then, with the streaming services and on demand, and, a new generation of people are watching their kids that were too young then. So it's pretty amazing. You didn't think about it then. You were too busy working.
Right.
But now when you look back, you go, wow.
Yeah, and do people come up to you that hadn't seen the show when it was on and, now have seen it on streaming? Does that happen a lot?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Absolutely, positively. We went to, we do this show in conversation with The Sopranos, and we went to Australia, and there was thousands and thousands and thousands of people who showed up, last May. So it's all over the world, you know. People like I said, the kids that were teenagers or 12 years old are now watching it. Like I said, they're in their 20s, college kids. I mean, the show's exploded, bigger than ever, bigger and bigger than ever. We're going to Europe, a 15-city tour. To the UK. We're playing the London Palladium, man.
Wow.
Thousands of people. We're going to Dublin and Belfast and Edinburgh, and so it's all over the world the way this is, and it hasn't slowed down much. Like I said, I think only 11 million people had HBO at the time.
Right.
I think a lot more people watch the show now. Like I said, it's much more available to people, and I know a lot of people watch it over and over and over.
Right.
They recite the lines. I mean, I don't even know what they're talking about. So there's fans are very enthusiastic.
That's awesome. And you do a lot of work. I mean, you have been, you've been involved with Blue Bloods. Were a producer on 2 different investigation discovery shows. You, Secret Life of American Teenager. You were Roberto in the Open Season franchise. What has been, your most fun, would you say?
Well, I mean, listen, when you're working, it's all good. I enjoy Blue Bloods tremendously. I've done over 70 episodes of Blue Bloods. I did 53 Sopranos, 70 Blue Bloods.
Oh, wow.
I enjoy that very much. I'm in the middle of shooting it now. We're in our 10th season. It's my 5th season on the show. I like shooting on the streets of New York. It's a really good show. I mean, 12 million people are watching it every Friday. So I enjoy that quite a bit. There's nothing that very few things that I've done. I was telling someone this yesterday. Very few things that I didn't like doing or was embarrassed of. I've kind of navigated that pretty good. I've watched what I do. If it doesn't feel good to me right from the beginning, I'm not interested. The Discovery shows were great. I created one of them. I enjoyed those kind of documentary, kind of Dateline, 48-hour kind of things, and that's what those were. I wrote a kid's book. We turned it into a movie, Nicky Deuce, where there's 5 Sopranos in it. Closest thing to a reunion.
Yeah.
You're going to see. So I enjoyed that very much. So as the years gone on, I can't say what I like one thing or another. It's all just different.
Yeah.
It's different and moving on. I mean, I enjoy what I'm doing right now. To be honest, I enjoyed this show very much. It's a quality show with the cast is great and really good people. So
I love that answer. I mean, that's awesome because, there are a lot of people aren't lucky enough to be able to say something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of luck involved, no matter what anyone says. There's a lot of luck involved, a lot of right time, the right place, the right decision. There's a lot of, listen, sometimes you need the money. You got to do a piece of crap.
Yeah.
You got to pay the bills. I've been lucky like that. I could kind of pick and choose, So I don't have to do whatever that may be. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I kind of know almost immediately if it's something that I would be interested in. When something offer comes through, I just kind of know.
Right.
Say, man, I'm not going to be happy there all day or all week, so I'm just going to pass.
Right. So you are actually going to be in Delaware. Your buddy has a restaurant opening up, Jerry Longo's Meatballs and Martinis at Dover Downs. Tell me about that.
Well, Jerry's a good guy. He's got restaurants in Rhode Island. We've been friends for about 20 years. I'm not kidding you. The meatballs, besides my grandmother's, and maybe even better than my grandmother.
Wow.
The meatballs are that good. And I'm a food guy, obviously, by looking at me. Jerry runs a great restaurant. He opened, I guess it's a month or so, over there in Dover Downs. He's a good friend. I'm coming out next week, the 14th on Saturday. We're going to be signing pictures, taking pictures. It's his grand opening. Great restaurant, great guy, family guy. I'm telling you, the meatballs, all the food is good. The meatballs are out of this world. So I'm looking forward to coming out next Saturday and joining him and, say hello to the people, and it's the grand opening. I know it's doing very well. Listen, Delaware got some good restaurants. Both my daughters graduated at the University of Delaware.
Wow.
They're both Blue Hens, so I've been down there a lot, and I've spent a lot of time in Newark and Wilmington, so I'm familiar. But this is a good addition to Delaware, and it's a great Italian restaurant. And Jerry's a great guy and a great host,
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got to say, for you to give, your seal of, your endorsement of the meatballs, that is some heavy stuff.
I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not lying. I'm better than anything I've had here in New York City.
That's incredible.
Not kidding you. They're that good. I'm looking forward to going to eat meatballs.
That's awesome. Well, Steve, where can we follow what you're doing, see when you're going on tour?
I'm on Twitter at Steven Schirripa. I'm on Twitter at Steven Schirripa. I got a Facebook thing. You got to put up the stuff. I'm not a huge Facebook guy, but it's out there, Steve Schirripa, and we post, if we're doing some of these shows and stuff, and Twitter we always put out there where we're, like I said, it's in conversation with the Sopranos. I think we're in Utica and Atlanta, and then we go to Europe. So, I'm out and about and watch Blue Bloods every Friday night. It's on Friday, what's the 7th? The 7th.
Yeah.
I think. No, the 6th. Well, I don't know when this is.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow's the 6th. Yep.
The 6th. So the 6th is a good one, a good episode, really extra good episode. And Blue Bloods every Friday night, 10 o'clock. And then for now, that's what we're doing. And now I'll enjoy Christmas here in New York with my family. I hope you have a nice holiday, and hopefully I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir, I will see. I look forward to meeting you, Steve. Thank you
Same
so much.
Here. Nice talking to you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Awesome guy, right? Like, what a great guy. He deserves all the success he gets. And he's helping out his buddy. Like, he's doing a press tour for his friend. What a great guy. And it's just, I can't say enough about him. So, okay, next up is Marques Brownlee. Really, really, really cool channel. If you don't subscribe to his YouTube, first of all, he's got like 18 million subscribers, 1.6 billion with a B views on his channel MKBHD with Dope Tech, and now he's got the brand new show on YouTube Originals, Retro Tech. So let's get right into talking to him. All right, I am here with Marques Brownlee, MKBHD. How are you, man? Thank you so much for talking with me.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So, 1.6 billion views with your YouTube channel, and the technology community loves you. The YouTube community loves you. I love you. Your videos are awesome. Tell me about your start. You started out, you were born in Jersey, right? 973?
Yes. First of all, thank you. Yeah, I've been Jersey born and raised.
And what got you into YouTube? You started in high school, correct?
Yeah, way back in 2009, I started. I got into YouTube because I was watching a bunch of videos trying to figure out what laptop to buy. So as a high school kid, with my allowance money, trying to figure out the best way to spend it, I had no choice but to do a lot of research. So watched a whole bunch of tech videos, and when I finally did get one, noticed a couple things that I didn't see in the first videos that I watched. So sort of felt natural to turn the camera on myself and make my own videos of the laptop that I just got. So that's how it started, and I guess it sort of snowballed 10 years and 1,000 videos from there.
Yeah, and you eventually started Dope Tech, which we'll talk about, and which led to Retro Tech, which we'll talk about. When you first uploaded your video to YouTube, was it an immediate success, or did you just keep going and then it started, exploding?
Yeah, no, it was definitely not like an instant hit or anything crazy like that. I want to say maybe 7 or 8 people watched the first video before I uploaded the second one.
Wow.
And I think I uploaded 100 videos to the first 78 subscribers to the channel. So it wasn't any viral sort of beginnings. It was just more of like the passionate kid in his bedroom who just got a shiny new laptop that has a lot to say about it. and it made sense to just talk about it. So
yeah. And were you always a tech guy?
Yeah, I feel like as long as I can remember, I've always been into tech in some way. So that certainly helped.
What gave you the idea for Dope Tech?
Yeah, so I've, since the beginning of the channel, always been making videos about new tech. Whether or not you should buy it is really the main question to consider. But there's some tech that I was getting access to that I wanted to share that there's no question you shouldn't buy it. Like, just crazy. The last thing we did a Dope Tech on was a camera robot that can, like, move a camera around the same way a robot moves a car around a factory and, like, keyframe it. Like, absolutely insane bleeding-edge stuff where it made sense to have fun and share it. But, I'm not reviewing it like you should buy it or anything.
Right.
That's how Dope Tech started, was just a way to share that crazy stuff. And, yeah, like you mentioned, Dope Tech, Retro Tech was sort of born from that. Actually, the original name was Dope Tech Rewind, but we sort of workshopped that to sort of fall off the tongue a little better. So Retro Tech was based from that, where we're sort of going back in time to some of the most iconic and most important pieces of tech that came before the tech we have today. So
yeah, I love Retro Tech. I love the whole idea behind it. And basically what you do is kind of trace the history and the significance and the actual tech of iconic like technology, like the original, the 1984 Macintosh, the Sega Genesis, the Walkman.
Yeah.
How did you decide? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I'm 26, so all these things came out before I even had a chance to use them.
Right, right. And how did you decide to narrow it down to these? Yeah,
I mean, if you look back, there's a lot of, pretty iconic pieces of tech where the nostalgia sort of hits harder than the rest. I think the way we chose our first 6 for this season was just the ones that had, the sort of biggest momentum impact on the tech we have around us today. So things like the Polaroid and the JVC camcorder and the Mac, they're so iconic in their way where before, if you look at the tech before these things came out, it was a totally different world. And then if we look at the Polaroid, just as an example, like the fact that you could see the photo you took instantly right after you took it was such a revolutionary concept that we sort of take for granted today, but you see it everywhere in the world. So I feel like that's how we narrowed it down, is these pieces of tech that were having the biggest impact on what we see today.
And for a tech guy like yourself, I'm a tech nerd myself, like that must have been hard to be like, okay, which 6 are we going to choose?
Definitely. Yeah, I think there's another 6 I would do right now if we had a season 2 right now. So I'm excited to keep going with it.
So tell me about Retro Tech. You have guests like Bill Nye himself and Hannibal Buress and even other YouTubers, iJustine. How did that part come together?
Yeah, a lot of the people we have on the show who are either older than me or have more experience with these pieces of tech were perfect for talking about it in the context of like how it changed their life. So Hannibal Buress, you mentioned, had a Sega Genesis. Like, he was a Sega Genesis gamer back in the day. So it was easy for him to explain to me, like, when that thing came out, how much he loved it, how much of an impact it had on his life, how it changed him, made him more of a gamer, that sort of thing. Bill Nye also, he was into business at the time. He had to make the big choice for his business about, do we take a risk and actually get a Macintosh for business or not?
Right. So,
yeah, the guests definitely add to the videos for sure.
What do you think, excuse me, in regards to how this has gelled, how the actual episodes became finalized for the YouTube original series? What do you think of from your inception to the final product? Is that your vision of what you wanted for Retro Tech?
Yeah, I think it turned out really well. And honestly, a lot of that comes from the trust in production, and the videos are 25 minutes long, something like that. So we really have a good amount of space to try to tell a story and to try to explore the actual technology and to talk with people and interviews and guests. And it's sort of a challenge to compact it all into one video, but I think it turned out really great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving what, the episodes that I've seen so far, and I'm looking forward to even more. What do you think is the most iconic piece of technology that we've had in our lifetimes, or even even before, in the last 50 years?
Oh, 50 years. Ooh, okay. So I know the last 26 years pretty well.
Right.
So for me, I guess recency bias, I tend to look back and I think of actually the first iPhone.
That would be my thing too.
Yeah, you look at Apple right now, they're a massive, massive company, and they're built really around that iPhone and the ecosystem around it. You look at all the smartphones that people have today and everything they're capable of and how powerful they've become. You can start a YouTube channel on an iPhone right now, but really going back to that idea of an all-in-one device in your pocket that just kicks butt. I mean, the original iPhone was something special, so I feel like that's pretty iconic.
Yeah, I stood in line at the time for the first iPhone, and I had gathered together money to buy it, and I had no idea. I mean, I knew, what it was supposed to be, but I had no idea how it would change not just my life, but really the world,
Yeah, absolutely. And if anyone knew, they would have had a golden ticket, but I'm super glad they actually pulled it off, because it's been a big impact.
It really has. And what is your favorite tech that you're using right now?
Good question. So I'm a big fan of the cameras and video gear I get to use, just because I'm a video nerd. It sort of makes sense. So I'm going to go super niche, and I'm going to say the Sigma 18-35 f1.8.
Okay.
That lens I'm using for the most part. I shoot with it all the time. It's a great wide-angle, shallow aperture lens, and that's one that I think I've used for maybe 8 years now.
Wow.
Which is really a long time to use a piece of tech. So I'm gonna go with the Sigma.
All right, that's a great answer. And then, what do you think is the next big thing in tech?
Oh man, well that's a $1 million question right there. I tend to look at, so I've been asked that a lot, and I think you look at like AR and VR, so augmented reality and virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
I make videos now where I'm trying to do my best in 2D space to sort of show you what I'm seeing and to put you in my shoes. But when you can capture in 360 and you can put someone in a virtual world, they're that much closer to really being in your shoes, and they can look around and sort of explore the way you would. So I would say, to keep a closer eye in the next couple of years on that tech getting better, virtual reality worlds and augmented reality experiences.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited for AR. I think it has the potential to change the world, really.
Yeah.
So going back to retro tech, what do you think is your favorite piece of retro tech that maybe you still use today? Or, do you break out a PS2 ever? Or, you know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah, retro tech of today. I am so, laser focused on the newest tech.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the oldest tech I use is just a couple years old. Retro tech I use today. That's a good. I think I'm going to go with, and this is going to sound silly because it's not that old, but it's the first console I ever got, which is the PS4.
Okay.
And the life cycle of a console is longer than a typical computer, or smartphone, or tablet. But I haven't felt the need to change consoles just because the games keep coming. And the controller is so familiar in my hands. And I feel like the same way the Sega Genesis is iconic for a lot of people who grew up with it,
yeah,
I feel like the PlayStations now are going to be iconic for a long time.
That's awesome. So what else can we look forward to with retro tech?
Well, I highly encourage people to watch the series. The new one that's coming out is on the 1984 Macintosh, and you can watch them for free every Monday when they come out. For the next 5 Mondays, so those are definitely to look forward to. And then fingers crossed, if all goes well, we get to do it again next year, maybe season 2.
That's awesome, and I am really hoping for that. I'm sure you're not going to have a problem with views. That's not going to be an issue. And your work is so quality, man. I really love your work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Marques Brownlee, Retro Tech, every Monday, and you can watch them whenever. You don't have to watch them live, right? I can watch them Monday night if I want.
On demand, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. I wish you continued success, and I love this YouTube original, Retro Tech. Thank you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So there's my interview with MKBHD himself, Marques Brownlee, and I love getting from him, first of all the dish on his new show, Retro Tech, and I loved hearing him, his ideas on what the best tech of the decade has been. It's a pretty cool guy to get that information from. So I loved speaking with him, and I know you guys will love the interview. So let me know what you think about this episode. Hit me up on social. I'm at KMacMusic on Instagram and on Twitter. I'm at Real Kyle McMahon on Facebook. Of course, you can follow the podcast itself on social. On Twitter, it's at PopCulturePodCA. So at PopCulturePodca. And, share, rate, please subscribe. And it really, really, really does help when you rate when you review the podcast, whether it's on the iHeart Radio app or Apple Podcasts. It helps it be visible, and, it really just helps humongously, and you guys have been doing that like crazy. So thank you. I will see you all next week for a very special Christmas episode of Pop Culture Weekly.
You're listening to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon, presented by 92.9 Tom FM, an iHeart radio station.
And next week it's Christmas time.